What's good, Cowboy Nation? What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Real Talk Cowboy, and we're back at it again for day number 2. That's right, day number 2. Welcome to the Real Talk Cowboy Show, where I'm your host and you all are my co-hosts. What's up there, Edward? I see you, Doc. I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, I call this the Grown and Sexy Cigar Lounge. Hey, come on in, grab a seat, your cigar, your drinks, and relax. Let's talk that Dallas Cowboy football talk. Hey, once again, this is day number 2 of the draft. And as you can see, they already have started, so I'm a little behind. I thought they started at 8. But yeah, I see that they got going. Hey, I agree with you, Edward. It wasn't sexy, but hey, it's needed.
The Arizona Cardinals have traded the 33rd pick to the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans
With
are
the
not
33rd
playing.
pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here. I think all of us, in fact, last week, someone on Total Access had asked me, hey, like, where do you think they go? And I thought there was a world that existed where
I have
the
some
Titans moved
video.
into the
I'm
first
going
round to go
show
and
you
draft
all
Hendon
on
Hooker. So I was with you,
maybe
Cynthia, here.
next week
They get
on
Will
Monday,
Levis.
showing you
Explain to me why we had
Mozzie
a drop
Smith,
of Levis out of the first round.
a lot of stuff I didn't know,
and I do
man.
want to follow up on
He
Malik
bench
Willis here in just
pressed
a moment, but I'll let you chime in
225
on
pounds,
Willis, Levis.
34 times, I believe.
You know, that deep
Let
throwing
me
that
make
we
sure I'm
see and
looking
his
at that
ability to actually
information
have
right.
velocity during games. He's the only quarterback in this draft class
Yep,
that has
34
actually in a
times,
game
and that was
thrown
the
more than
most
60
that
miles
any
per hour.
of
So you're talking about someone who
defensive
actually
linemen done
has
in this
such a
draft.
huge
So
deep
he is
ball
by far
ability.
the strongest
And you need Ryan
defensive
Tannehill to
lineman
be able to
in
teach
this
him,
draft.
and that gives you a good opportunity,
So
especially
yeah.
with all of the play action
Yeah,
opportunities
I'm gonna
you have
break
with
all
Derrick
that down
Henry.
next
So
week.
one of the best ways to fold in
Um,
quarterbacks that has been proven to be most
so
successful,
that
see,
you all
Dak
can
Prescott is
see
a really
that.
good example of this, is being able to have
Once
the run
again,
game and then play action,
you all
and then ask
joining
them to
in.
throw
I am
complex
Real
passes,
Talk
the ones that are more
Cowboy,
likely to get picked off later, once they have their bit of
and
their
I'm the
footing and a
new.
little bit more
I'm
reps
one of the new
under
and
their belt for
upcoming
more higher
Dallas
probability
Cowboy
throws.
content
I think that he
creators
was. Look, I've got a second round
here
grade on
on
Will
your
Levis.
social
However,
media.
Nailed it.
I think
Nailed
he's
it.
unnecessarily beaten up during the
Check in
process.
with your
Agreed.
boy.
I just think people really just they viewed him as some kind of villain of the draft, and no one wanted no one wanted Will
Trying to
Levis.
bring you the
bottom
real
line was he played through 3 injuries this year. He was hurt
talk,
for most of the year and fought his way through it.
not
He
watered
is a guy
down
with
Cowboy
amazing
content.
arm talent. Like I saw throws, and we just saw some on.
Again, thank
They
you all
pulled
for
some here.
joining
Great
in.
job by Ben Fennell from NFL Films pulling some of these throws. He's got incredible arm talent, like Aaron Rodgers type stuff. That's used a lot, but it actually fits with Will Levis. The problem is his ability to play with consistency. He rarely got into a rhythm this
Tennessee
year.
Titans
His
moved
career touchdown to interception ratio is below 2-1. So I think his awareness in the pocket and his ability to make consistent decisions.
Hey,
and play
Edward,
a
I
role
think we
is a
should
big
go with
problem for him. And I
the
think
old lineman
the
right here, man, with the number
basic
2 pick.
accuracy is a real problem.
All right, quickly here as you take a look at.
I wouldn't be mad if they
Starter,
double
what he had
back
to
and
say.
got
I brought
another
up Malik Willis'
offensive
name.
lineman
Third round
or
guy.
a
A
defensive
lot of buzz a
tackle.
year ago at this time for him. We did get to see him in flashes. What does this pick say about his status moving forward?
I think it more
See
says
them in
that
the second
Tannehill
round,
will
man.
probably, they're at the tail end of his career, and maybe they'll figure it
Again,
out,
we
right?
talk
And have a
about
little
the
bit of a
Cowboys,
competition.
man, and
Pretty good to have 2
sometimes they
rather than
do
have
things
1
that
for the
you
future.
don't understand, but
Cynthia's
we
paying
have to give them
attention to the
credit,
Lions
man.
are a team that are
When
on
they're
fire.
right
Take
at
it if you
times,
can.
you know, like we give them hell when they do wrong. So I think they're going to go offensive lineman either second or third. They might slip a wide receiver in there, but I don't think we need a wide receiver. But that's what I would say.
With the 34th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Sam Laporta, tight end, Iowa.
I tell you, there was some heat on Laporta as a potential late first rounder, early second rounder, and this is where he goes. There are some teams that really like Sam Laporta And one of the things they really like is the fact that the level of consistency is really, really, really high. Now, I question his ability to consistently block, but if you're asking him to be just a sufficient blocker and to go make catches, that could really benefit the Lions. I'm not in love with this pick. I think I like Luke Musgrave more. I mean, I have my own opinions, and the Lions haven't graded where they haven't graded. But I think the one thing you get with Sam Laporta is a player who is very, very consistent.
Period.
And he is.
Yeah, we shall see.
He's from a school that has produced some tight ends as well. So
Edward, back to your question,
do you think
man.
they're a little guilty
I'm going to go with
scouting the jersey as opposed to
an
scouting
offensive
the player?
lineman and a wide
Or
receiver.
the helmet. Depends on whichever one.
I don't know which one.
Look, at the end of the day, right now, the Lions do have two more
I would go with an
second-round
O-lineman
picks.
and
We'll continue to talk
another
about the Lions
defensive tackle.
and take it back to Kansas City.
Or a linebacker.
That's still to come here as Will Levis now officially off the board. It's NFL Draft
Who do you
Center
think?
presented exclusively by NFL.
Again,
Sunday
welcome to
Ticket,
the
which is
Real
on
Talk
YouTube.
Cowboy Show. It's your boy, Real Talk Cowboy, new and upcoming Dallas Cowboys content creator on your social media wave.
All right, pay attention. You
Here I
cannot
call
teach
this
this.
the grown and
This girl
sexy
here, with the
cigar
power of
lounge,
Visa, she's
where I want
doing
everyone
nails
to
at
come
school
in,
to pay for school. Why?
relax,
School ain't
get your
cheap.
cigar,
She's brushing
and
away
your drink
school
that
fees.
you pair with
One
your
stroke at a
cigars,
time. Oh,
whether it's water,
Ooh.
juice, cognac,
Hold
beer,
up,
or
Miss
whatever
Lady.
it may be.
Our girl just turned her
Sit down,
side hustle
smoke,
into a full-blown
drink,
pop-up.
relax,
Lesson learned. A+.
And talk that
Gold
Dallas
star.
Cowboy
Class
football
dismissed.
talk.
How does Little
You all
Caesars
do
know
me a
when to bring
favor.
back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science.
Go ahead and make sure you connect with me on all of my social media platforms. I'm also on podcast. So wherever you listen to your podcast, whatever platform, make sure you go and search the Real Talk Cowboy Show and subscribe. That's right,
I
subscribe.
definitely know what they're doing.
Across the world craves is
So that
back
you
in
can be
Little
connected
Caesars.
whenever I do my
New and existing
podcast.
customers can choose the phone they
which is
want,
usually
like
the
the
same
incredible
time,
iPhone 14 on us.
as I do my show.
I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And also
And
do
I
me a
got to
favor.
choose the phone I
If
wanted
you can
for
share the
free. Not
content,
bragging.
You're bragging.
like,
To me, never.
share,
Oh,
and
excuse
comment.
me.
That's right. Like,
Hello, your
share,
Royal
and
Highness,
comment.
sir.
Okay, that's a brag.
get
New and
these
existing customers
algorithms
can choose
of
the
the
phone they
social
want,
media,
like
whatever
the
you're
incredible
on,
iPhone 14
going, so
on
they
us.
know that you like
On the
this
network,
content
we're
and you want
bragging
more
about.
of it.
Verizon.
YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket. Sign up now and get $100
You're right,
off.
Edward.
Watch
You
all your
will
favorite
get those
NFL
late
teams
round
out-of-market
gems.
Sunday afternoon games
Yep.
all season long exclusively on YouTube and YouTube TV. Sign up now.
You will get those late rounds.
This electric feels different because it's powered by the most potent source of energy there is. You. This is the Lexus variety of electrification.
Again,
Inspired
folks,
by, created for,
like,
and
share,
powered by
and
you.
comment. This is your boy, Real Talk Cowboy, and we on day
Rumor
number
has it you're
2,
considering a trade to leave the booth
live
for the bar.
coverage
Listen,
of the
Nikki, I'm
draft.
always looking for the best opportunity to watch, but I'm just focused on getting the next round of beers. Yeah.
I think
Get a
our
power
pick is
card
number
with an entree
58,
only at
if I'm not
Dave &
mistaken.
Buster's.
Since the dawn of man, getting help has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss, or your mental health. Through Hims,
Yeah, we have
getting help is
in the
simple.
second round,
It all
pick number
starts with one small
58,
click for you
and on the third round, pick number 90.
and you. And you.
58 and 90.
That can change everything for future you. That's healthcare, as it should be. Click now, thank yourself later. Get started at forhims.com.
6 trades on day number 1, and here we go, day number 2, and 2 have already gone down. The Raiders, yes, taking the pick from the Colts. They will move up in the hopes of grabbing whichever player they really love. NFL Sunday Ticket, now exclusively on YouTube and YouTube TV. You can sign up today to get their lowest full season price
Boy,
of the
Real
year.
Talk Cowboy.
It'll be exactly like Cynthia.
New
It's
up
actually
and
done
coming
exactly that.
Did that guy count
Dallas
as 3
Cowboy
tickets
content
or only
creator.
Because he had 2 heads on his shoulder.
Great question. I'm gonna go 1, but maybe 1.5.
Thank you
Get
for
back to
joining
Kansas
in.
City.
Day number 2 of the draft.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded the 35th pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. With the 35th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame.
My first.
There's nothing better than listening to Lance and Cynthia try to come up with a guess, and when one of them gets it right, there's reason for celebration. Cynthia, I will let you lead the way because you said, hey, I think now maybe getting Mayer to fill in for Darren Waller might be a good pick, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, I was kind of looking at the Rams' needs or a couple of picks ahead to say, why would you make this jump? Well, look, when you're getting a guy with a versatile, he's a true Y tight end. What does that mean? He blocks for you. He'll catch for you. Hey, they had this guy. His name's Darren Waller. He is now at the New York Giants. They don't have another guy that can fill this type of position. And for me, I had a first-round grade on him. They're getting a guy who I ranked 19 overall. This is exceptional value. I'm very happy for the Raiders and that Notre Dame personality. He's a great kid. I got a chance to talk to him. I had a couple of friends who are on the coaching staff. They're A+ human beings. So really, really good pick for the Raiders.
Yeah, Joe Thomas, I was speaking to him in the green room earlier, and he said, this guy knows how to block.
Yep.
So he said, why did he fall? And I really just think it's just a case of why tight ends.
He didn't wear a green shirt there.
Yeah,
that's
well,
why.
that hurt him a
Michael
little bit.
Mayer
But
is
the
gone
white tight
off
ends,
the
why
board.
some really good tight ends in that
Yeah,
picture.
right. If he would have worn green, he would have got
would've
picked.
been in
Like I
the club.
said, I don't
the Raiders
think
wouldn't have gotten him. He
we,
wore
the
black,
Dallas
forecasting the Raiders.
Cowboys,
Yeah, and
need a tight end.
he's obviously
I am
right about
very
that. But I think
satisfied
white tight
with
ends just aren't the sexy
Ferguson.
picks anymore, and that's why he
They
fell
are.
a little bit.
And the
They
other
should be.
guy
They
that we
should be.
got,
They should be.
Amazing pick.
Yeah, this is a great pick.
Great value for the Raiders, and I think you described it that way. Tyree
His
Wilson in
name,
the first
what,
round, and
H. Jimmy
now
Sharp,
it is a
something like
tight end
that.
of Michael Mayer in
screwing
round
that
number
man's
two.
last
Two
name
guys
up.
that you got to imagine could have gone in that
But
first
yeah.
round. Rams on the
So-
clock, their selection still to come.
Let's see. Moving a little fast tonight. Here in round 2,
Legendary performance tonight. Watching basketball.
they
Dave
have
Buster's.
rounds
How's it
2
feel?
and 3 tonight.
Vindicated, Nikki. That's the
That's
only
the
thing I
only
can say. You know, there's a lot of people who
2
don't see what
rounds
you
they
do
have tonight.
behind the scenes. You know, they don't see you sitting on the couch by yourself watching TV, right? They don't see you eating wings by yourself, right? They say you got to get up, you got to get a job. And to them, I say tonight proves you wrong.
Vindicated indeed.
While we waiting, let's go. Let's go to let's look at something here I want to show you all. I want to show you all Mozzie Smith bench pressing 225 pounds 34 times. The most any of the interior linemen done in this draft. So he's by far the strongest. And look at him and putting in work. And look, 225 is around the average weight of running backs. Now, that's not stats or anything you will find. That's just my opinion. But you have some that's a little lighter, like Tony Pollard. And then you have some that's heavier than 225. But think about that. Him putting that up 34 times. Look out. Look out. That's all I can say.
Yesterday, we bring this up because the Rams right now are on
That's
the
all
clock.
I
It
got to
sounds
say
like
about
he
that,
picked
folks.
in Keep in mind the Dolphins.
Mozzie Smith, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys.
To grab a player that potentially could help them. We were discussing
Again,
some
it's
of the
your
needs
boy,
that the
Real
Rams
Talk
have, and it seems like
Cowboy.
there's a plethora
I'm
of
new and
options
upcoming
that this
Dallas
team
Cowboys
could go
content
down.
creator
There's Coach
on your
McVay.
social media waves,
I wonder if it's hot in that room. She keeps fanning herself.
coming to bring you the
Dad, the
real
camera
news.
lights on.
The answer from Kansas City on the Rams.
Not saying that
selection
anybody else
is
get
right now.
fake news, but the real news, straight and to the point, no chasing. Please like, share, and comment. Let the folks know that you enjoy this
With the
content.
36th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Steve Avila, guard, TCU.
O-line.
Offensive
Okay,
line help.
guard.
I got a sheet in front of me that's got all the offseason activity.
Guard has been
for
ticking
every
off the
single
board
NFL team.
for this second round.
I've been scanning it. There's not one team that can come close in terms of additions and then all of the losses. That loss column, very significant.
I mean, look, let's even talk about that first game against the Bills last season where we saw what we didn't want to see, which was that
Big boy getting
Andrew
upfield,
Whitworth
blocking
really
at the
started to
second
show
level,
that
first and second
O-line had a
level.
lot of needs that they weren't addressing. So Steve Avila, huge, great feet. He has a great center of balance. He's not a waist bender. We
Nope,
like that. We don't
not
like
at
a
all.
waist bender.
We don't.
And he has positional flexibility. He could even play center.
Yep, center guard,
Wow.
and he's powerful. He's strong. He can climb up to the second level. He's really steady in pass protection too. So, I think it's a solid pick for a team that needs
Yes,
everything.
wonderful
Building the
pick.
fronts is
Matthew Stafford's so happy
Yeah,
right
you
now.
can't go wrong with that. Oh boy, after
He's
last
so
year.
happy.
All right, right now Seattle is on the clock. I think you could classify them as one of the winners from day number one.
For sure.
Weatherspoon, not to mention Jackson Smith and Jigba, arguably the two best players at their respective positions in this draft. Now an opportunity here in the second round with the 37th overall pick to add to the talent. Is there, look, and John Schneider and Pete Carroll, they've done a tremendous job the last couple of years in the draft. They found some gems here. Is there an obvious fit?
I've written down the name Keanu Benton.
Okay.
They need defensive tackle. Everyone knew that they needed Jalen Carter. He's the biggest guy out there in terms of the best guy. This is where I projected him to go.
Again, it's your
I
boy,
think-
Real
I think
Talk
it's
Cowboy. Thank you for joining in to the second day live NFL draft coverage.
With the 37th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Derek Hall, linebacker, Auburn.
So pretty
Okay, a
good producer
linebacker has been
here.
taken off
Lance,
the
I'm
board
going
for
through
the
some of your
second round
notes.
as well.
47th ranked prospect for you. Started all 12 games. Got after the quarterback. 12 TFLs, 7 sacks, 47 pressures.
If you look at my mock draft, I had Derek Hall to the Seahawks, but not until
Again,
52. But he's a
think
Seahawk.
the
fit.
Dallas
Like, he is
Cowboys
a- this is the way they
should
like
go
him.
for
John Schneider
offensive
likes
lineman.
this level of physicality.
And
He
maybe
is a
double
bull
back and
rusher,
get a
very
defensive
powerful
tackle.
bull rusher.
What do you all
He's
think?
explosive.
Let me know.
Heavy hands, and he's very, very tough. I think he needs to play with a little bit better instincts and more
I have to
consistency at the
rotate
point
those
of
big
attack.
guys,
But the
man.
thing that really stood out to me is this right here. He can run through tackles. He is one of the most ferocious bull rushers in this draft, and speed
Let me
to
give you
power
all some
rushing
information
is a really big
that
deal. We
I-
saw it with Frank Clark when he came
obtained.
out. We see it on a consistent basis every week in the
Mozzie
NFL. Everyone
Smith
gets
versus
so,
Jalen
they
Carter
fall in love with speed
versus
around
the
the edge,
stats.
but guys who can convert
Mozzie
speed to power
Smith,
like
he's
Derek
6'3".
Hall can do. That
Jalen
plays
Carter
in the
is
NFL,
6'3".
and that's what Philadelphia.
But Jalen
that's
Carter
what
wears
Seattle actually
310.
likes. So
Mozzie
good pick here. I
Smith
just had him
wears
going a little later to the same
326
team in the same round.
pounds.
I love the fact that he's now going to have
in the
Bobby
40,
Wagner standing behind
Mozzie
him
Smith
and
ran a
teaching him a little bit of what he
4.85,
maybe didn't get
and
a
Jalen
lot of
Carter
at Auburn.
ran a
So I think this is
4.96.
an excellent pick, and that bull rush is harder to
Mozzie
teach actually
Smith
than the
is
speed rush
faster.
in terms.
For the vertical jump, Jalen Carter hit 28 inches. And let me see. In the vertical jump for Mozzie Smith is 44 inches. Now his totals are 23 solo tackles, 25 assisted tackles, 2.5 tackles for losses, and 0.5 sacks. For Jalen Carter, you have 16 solo tackles, 16 assisted tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. So the only difference here is that I see is that Jaden Carter had a lot more sacks. He had 2.5 more sacks than Mazi Smith. But overall, I think we selected the better guy. And as I said before, I showed you the video where Mazi Smith bench pressed 225 pounds 34 times. And that was the most any of them done in this draft class with the interior linemen. So he's by far the strongest as well. And here it looks like NFL Network. See what they doing. Okay. Have a little technical difficulties.
Well, if you're going to take a
there we go.
running back in the first round, you might as well take a tackle in the second round and help out your entire offense.
I like what the
look, I wasn't necessarily sold on Desmond Ridder, but they say they are.
drafted
This is a guy
tackle.
in Arthur Smith that knows how to create really good play action situations, and you know what you need for play action is an awesome running back, and you know what
Dallas
helps running back
Cowboys,
in your
take
quarterback?
notes. We need
very,
an
very
offensive
good tackle.
lineman.
I like Matthew Bergeron. I think he's got a chance to be
but there's still
a
some
high
quality
guard.
tackles left.
You know,
out
I
here.
don't love his hands in the pass protection game as a tackle. I think for me, I wouldn't play him outside and play him a tackle.
Again,
I
welcome
immediately
to
move
the
him inside
Real
the
Talk
guard
Cowboy
and let
Show.
him start mauling people.
I'm
He
your
is one of the
boy,
most
Real Talk
clean
Cowboy.
run blocking players.
New
You
and
see him
up
right
and
there.
coming
He unlocks hips.
Dallas
He gets
Cowboy
that push
content
shot
creator.
from his insteps.
Here on your
He's a
social
player who I
media
think has an
waves.
ability to push you
Come
out
to
against
bring
your
you
will outside of
the
the
latest and breaking
outside
news,
of the lane
rumors,
and create
and
running
much
lanes.
more.
I think the pass protection needs to get better.
All
though.
while
Yeah,
keeping
this
it
guy's
real.
also got a lot of experience.
As the young folks say,
46 games
keeping
played.
it a
That's what
buck.
happens when you
Keeping it
get
100.
to start as a freshman. You see Michael Mayer, who now has a new football team, going to the Raiders to fill in for Darren Waller. Carolina's on the clock. The answer on their pick is next.
Rumor has it you're considering a trade to leave the booth for the
Try
bar.
to be on here for the
Nikki, I'm always
whole
looking for
night
the best
so
opportunity
that
to
we can
watch,
see
but I'm just focused
all
on
the
getting the
second
next
and
round.
the third pick of our
yours.
Dallas Cowboys.
Get a power
I don't
card with
know
an
for
entree
sure. I know I will
only
be
at
here for
Dave
the
and
second,
Buster's.
but not for
New and
sure if I'm
existing
going to be
customers
here
can
for
choose
the
the phone
third.
they want, like the
But,
incredible iPhone
keep you all
14
posted.
on us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not bragging.
You're
Next
bragging.
week, starting
Never.
Monday,
Oh, excuse me.
I will be going
Hello,
live
Your
showing
Royal
breakdown,
Highness, sir.
Hume breakdown
That's a brag.
of Mazi Smith
New and
and all the
existing
rest
customers
of
can
our
choose the phone they want,
chosen
like the incredible
new
iPhone
Dallas
14
Cowboy
on us.
team members.
On the network worth bragging about.
Verizon.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back
I
pretzel
think
crust?
Jerry
I'm sure they've
Jones
got it down to
in
a
the front
science.
office knows this time is now. It's time for us to get a Super Bowl ring again. As I stated yesterday, I'm spoiled. I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan since 1980, and I have seen 3 Super Bowls.
Pretzel Peter's busted a move.
And I just been spoiled.
The crust the world craves is
So
back
I'm
at Little
expecting
Caesars.
another ring.
Hims is total care, totally personalized.
Yes,
Whether you're
yes,
looking
Edward.
for support
He's gonna
for anxiety,
plug
ED, or hair
that
loss,
middle for that run.
Hims can help. Through Hims,
and
you
then
can get
not
access
only
to trusted
that, it
treatments
will
from
open
licensed
up
medical providers
because
who can
the
determine
attention
the right
he will
option
get
for you
it
with
will
a
open up
100%
more,
online process and free discreet
opportunities
shipping if prescribed.
for
Find
Michael
personalized treatments for
Carson,
you and
as
you
well as
and
LVE.
you at forhims.com.
So
Get
he's
started
going to be a
today.
force, and I think we, like you said, didn't do a sexy pick.
It builds.
Didn't have a
It doesn't
sexy pick,
stop
but it was a
until
pick that
you
was
hear
needed.
your name.
And as I stated on
Answer that
yesterday,
cap.
as you all
Then
know, the last 2 years we have been hammered
the pain,
with the runs that
success,
knocked us
the
out of the
sacrifice.
playoffs. You had the Rams that just ran all over us.
And those who said you couldn't.
And then, you
all
know,
of
the
it
same
leading
thing
to the
with
moment.
the 49ers. Like they didn't run over us
What
like
is made
the
official?
Rams did
Welcome
a couple
to
years
the league.
before, but, you know, we were missing that middle piece to plug that run. Shout out to all the other Dallas Cowboy content creators out there that's live. Your boy Real Talk Cowboy salute you.
Are you a referee?
Apple.
We in this thing together.
Illegal substitution.
We all can eat.
Interception.
One thing I like about it, no one is hating on no one.
Helmet catch.
Stop guessing the helmet
I
catch.
had
Isn't
some
the
of them
Caesar
even help me,
Sportsbook app
man.
and Caesar's
And
rewards,
I
the more you
appreciate
play, the
them.
more stuff you earn, and they have fast
Landlord,
because Caesar
West
is the
Coast
man.
Cowboy,
Yes! Is that a
Law
thing?
Nation.
How is that even
Salute,
possible?
fellas.
Nice job, Coach.
Can't wait to get you on.
Worst clues ever.
Pretty obvious.
Possible.
Who was my favorite, Archie?
On the clock, like they were to start this draft. You can see the Panthers fans in Kansas City loving it. What did it sound
Let
like
me
for
see
Bryce
what
Young?
other
Oh, take a
tackles
listen.
are out there.
Hey, Bryce.
How we doing?
How you doing? You remember in
Somebody let me know, did DeJuan Jones,
Yes, I do remember
was
that.
he selected on
I
yesterday?
wasn't kidding. I wasn't kidding. So you want to trade us to Sweet Home Alabama for some Sweet Carolina?
I can't wait.
Still got Cody March. I talked about him in one of my shows. I really like him, man, from North Dakota State.
To have you here in this
He's a
building.
guard.
And listen, we know you're not only a class act, but can't wait for this team that you're coming to. You're going to love this team, right? You're coming into a building that has a great roster, high character. This is going to be a great fit. Great city for you, great locker room for you, and can't wait for you to be part of this team.
That's right. You can't stop the
I
run.
can't
It
wait
doesn't
either,
matter.
Coach. Thank you so much. It means the world. How we doing?
Hey, man, congratulations. We are excited. This is a long process, but you're our guy, man. And just come here. All you have to do is be you. And that's all we need. So,
And
congratulations.
I know that I
We'll
got
get
a
that.
notification
Thank you,
earlier
thank you.
today
It means the world.
that
I really appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
Swift,
I'll see you
the
tomorrow.
running back for the
appreciate you.
Lions, are requesting to be traded because of the running back pick that happened last night.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Nicole and David Tepper and the Carolina Panther organization for this opportunity. And with the 39th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver, Ole Miss.
Okay.
Immediately, Lance Zierlein says, I like it. You had said to me in the break, hey, maybe you got to go and get a playmaker, a wide receiver to help out a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Is this a good answer?
I think so, because Mingo, it just depends on what Frank Reich likes big receivers who can really help help quarterbacks out in terms of catch radius. Mingo is, I know it's an easy call, but I mean, you see the Ole Miss, you see the number one. He does have some A.J. Brown elements. He's not as explosive as A.J. He's not as fast as A.J. Brown as in terms of, his play speed. But
Come on, NFL. Don't do me like this.
You got to get some young guys in there too.
yeah, I think the one thing you run into with Jalen Hyatt is he's such a very specific wide receiver. Like, I'm a big fan of Jalen Hyatt. The problem with Jalen Hyatt is
We're back.
he's this.
Had a little technical
And he's-
Yeah,
difficulty.
but sometimes defenses have to go
NFL.com.
Exactly.
with
No,
it.
no, and
Create
that's why I
space
think
for everyone else.
And I think he has a lot of value. But
Who is buying
when you
that,
deal with
Sunday
Bryce Young, I
ticket?
think what you want to
I
give
know
him is
those
a big
prices
safety
are
blanket
high.
that he can grow
If
with.
you're already a
That's what Mingo
YouTube
has a chance to do with his
TV
size.
subscriber,
640,
think
sorry.
you get a little
No,
discount.
I was just going to give the numbers because we were talking about
Yeah.
speed and Hyatt, obviously a little bit of a different type of receiver here.
Yep.
I'm also just wondering, because I think you bring up a good point here. Carolina,
I know I
don't
will,
know
even
how
though I
far off they
fuss about
really are, and a lot of it's going to have to
the
depend on
pricing.
the play of Bryce Young here. But he's your starter in week one.
Hey.
Those additions that you highlighted, like
I
this is
love
actually a pretty good
football,
team that
and I
never
love
really
my
quit a
Dallas
season ago.
Cowboys.
Talk to me about the NFC South. Tell me what you know about them, other than that we know that the Saints have a new quarterback that we kind of know is proven. We know Andy Dalton's now the backup, presumably in Carolina. And then there's like a lot of question marks everywhere else. So this is a very achievable division. And I love how David Tepper is like, this is how a hedge fund manager does actually create a team. You go high upside picks and let it ride. And also, they have naming rights coming up for their stadium. So you got to put someone on the ticket. You got to make sure everyone in Charlotte wants to, all those banks come and say, we need to sponsor this. Hey, now you've got a playmaker to go with your new quarterback.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So this is, you mentioned this division right now. The Saints are on the clock for you,
There's
Lance.
some hugs going on.
And some kisses. Anything that makes sense
Whoa.
from a Saints perspective?
From a New Orleans Saints perspective, I think they could use a big guard like Osiris Torrance.
Okay.
He's one that immediately came to mind. Saints have a few different needs, but guard would be one of them that I'd really recommend. They need to get the left guard figured out.
All right, let's find out what the pick is. We head to Kansas City.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Saints.
Saints, you're on the clock. And what I want to say is that everybody that gets their name called tonight, your whole family should all celebrate together. It's a special time.
This is the
in all
40th
these young
pick,
people's
so we
lives.
have 18
So let's all
more
give them a round of
picks
applause for that.
before
And I also want to give
we
a
see
shout
our
out
Dallas
to my man Mike
Cowboys
Ornstein, who had a happy birthday, turned 7
select
yesterday.
their
You've given
second
so much
pick.
to me and to
Do
the
you
game.
all think we move
With all
up?
that being said,
They put
with the 40th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Isaiah Foskey, defensive end, Notre Dame.
We're trying to rush the passer is what we're trying to do right here. Isaiah Foskey is a little bit raw from a rush standpoint. He's got a long arm move that he uses over and over and over because it's effective. He's big, he's long, he's very physical with his speed to power rush, but he's going to have to diversify on the next level. The thing that really stood out to me is that from 2021 to 2022, he got a lot better with his run defense. I think he became more instinctive,
stay put.
and then
Be
he's
right
got
back.
good lateral quickness and change of direction to chase. That's why a lot of these highlights you'll see is him being able to run down scrambling quarterbacks and running backs trying to bounce it wide. So Isaiah Foskey is a player who I gave him a grade based on the fact that I think he's going to keep getting better because he has traits.
I like that. He's a little raw for this pick, for pick 40 rather. This is a little bit of an early pick in terms of where I think he would be available later. Now, and that's not to say that it's not worth it if that's who they think they should get. And it's clearly a design that shows that they almost always have cap issues. And so now you're going high value position. DT, edge rusher, planning for the future.
And a guy that also was more than capable of getting after the quarterback. 11 sacks a season ago, tied for 6th in FBS play. The Cardinals on the clock, their selection still to come.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science.
Do something.
Come on.
He's dancing! Pretzel Pete has busted a move. Pretzel crust is back!
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing. The crust the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Rumor has it you're considering a trade to leave the booth for the bar.
Listen, Nikki, I'm always looking for the best opportunity to watch, but I'm just focused on getting the next round of beers. Yeah.
Get a power card with an entree only at Dave & Buster's.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not bragging.
You're bragging.
Who, me? Never. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Your Royal Highness, sir.
Okay, that's a brag.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
On the network worth bragging about.
Verizon.
Since the dawn of man, getting help has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss, or your mental health. Through HIMS, getting help is simple. It all starts with one small click for you. And you. And you. That can change everything for future you. That's healthcare, as it should be. Click now, thank yourself later. Get started at 4hims.com.
Try Tide Power Pods with 85% more Tide in every pod.
Who needs that much more Tide?
He does.
No, what does that mean?
It means you're gonna need more Tide. See? More likes, more Tide. The more adorable, more Tide. Everyone's gonna need more Tide.
You're going to need
I'm
more
back.
Tide.
I'm back.
It's a mess out there. That's why there's 85% more Tide in every Power Pod.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
live your greatness. And Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives
I can
for
see, but
24 hours.
I think the running back, you can get them really anywhere. Yeah, I'm thinking offensive line and a wide receiver. That's what I'm gonna go with. Even though that's not what I would pick, I'm trying to think as if I was Jerry Jones in the front office. Thinking wide receiver and offensive line. But if it was me,
hell yeah, we did. Why
I
not?
would do an offensive lineman,
karate in the garage.
double back for a defensive tackle.
I'm not taking that on.
Thank you.
As you take a closer look inside the draft room presented by
Again,
Verizon
it's your
here.
boy, Real Talk Cowboy.
All right, you guys tell me. They went offensive
Real Talk
line here
Cowboy
with the
show.
first overall pick. Does it make sense to address maybe some of the
I'm
holes they
new
might have had
and
on the defensive
upcoming
side?
Dallas
Well, I just
Cowboy
think it makes sense
content
to get better
creator here on
players.
your
I mean, the
social
roster's
media
really
waves.
So,
And you are in
I
the
could
grown
sit
and
there and we could
sexy
get
cigar
specific
lounge.
about this player or that
Where
player,
you
this
grab your
position or that
cigar,
position.
your
You just got to
drink
stay true to your
of
board
choice,
because you have so many
have a
holes
seat,
all over the place.
and let's talk
You just
that
gotta get
Dallas Cowboy
more-
football
You got
talk.
to get better players and more competitive players.
Like,
right now.
share,
Only
and
pick in the
comment,
second
folks.
round. They do have three
Again,
picks in
like,
round number
share,
3.
and
Let's
comment.
take it to Kansas City.
Let's go, Kansas City! Shout out to Lawrence and Lilia, my parents, my wife Tracy, and the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go! With the 41st pick in the 2023 draft, the Arizona Cardinals select BJ Ojulari, linebacker, LSU.
Cynthia, you name dropped him a little bit earlier. You thought he was going to get selected very soon, and he's got a new home.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had some injuries, but when you're looking at what he's capable of doing, this is a huge area of need for the Cardinals. Rushing the passer is absolutely important, crucial. There were a lot of people that I talked to ahead of the draft that thought
Again,
Ojulari could
you're
actually
watching
step
day
into
2
the first round.
live
So they did get a
NFL
little
draft
bit of value
coverage.
here, getting just a little bit later, but even more because they were able to trade down a couple of times to go and get him. So
As we
not only did the
sit
value
here
they
and
see because they
anticipate
got surplus
what
value,
the
but I
Dallas
love the fact that
Cowboys
his
are going to
burst and change
do
of direction. It's
with
right
their
up there with some
second
guys
round
who are
pick,
very well known,
which
you
is
know,
number
like maybe not
58.
like JJ Watt-esque in his prime, but still guys who are pretty modern, pretty good. Watt like, but maybe that other Watt, that he's a TJ. He had a little,
One of the Watts.
yeah, TJ, a little more like TJ.
He's
TJ's like TJ.
I like BJ Ojulari is, you know, his brother Azeez Ojulari plays for the Giants. And you always wonder if that gives him a leg up in terms of understanding what's coming his way from the standpoint of just rookie camp and the things that make being a rookie a little bit more difficult, the acclimation. If you've got a brother who's been through that, or a cousin or a friend or whatever the case may be, I think it's easier on a player. And he's a talented player, but, you know, the NFL is a different league. But
I think our needs are a linebacker. We already addressed defensive tackle, but we can double back, and then offensive line. Everything else is, to me, is gravy. Gravy on top of the food. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Make sure we
One
get that.
tight end,
Yeah, here we
Lance.
go.
You and I were talking about this. Only played 2 games. Both of us watched the game, and you couldn't take
Yeah, I
your
think
eyes
anything
off
else
of what the
'cause-
tight end did for John.
well, I mean, it's a projection.
They'll be
I
coming
understand he only played
behind.
2 games and he was hurt. I understand that from
maybe
a
a running
production
back,
standpoint,
but
there's not as much air as you would like, but I'm trying to predict who's going to be the best tight end out of this class, and I think it's going to be this guy. He was a young championship skier, downhill skier. He has great hands
they
and
will
feet.
be able to
He has an
start.
How does Little Caesars know
Anybody else coming in?
I'm
they-
sure they've got it down to a
Most
science.
of our positions, other than those, are filled, and they wouldn't be starting. The linebacker wouldn't be starting unless they just flat out outplay LVE or whatever. But he's attacking the offensive line sure enough to be starting. Especially if Tyron Smith
The
gets
crust
hurt.
the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Rumor has it you're
Yeah,
considering
because
a
if
trade to
my
leave the
understanding, I don't
booth
think
for
we
the
have a
bar.
kicker.
Listen, Nikki, I'm
Did
always
they let
looking
our
for the
boy
best
go, or did they
opportunity to
pick up
watch,
someone?
but I'm just focused
I
on
mean, he
getting the
did
next
have
round.
trouble kicking last year.
Get a power
Man,
card
he
with an
was hitting
entree
some
only at
long,
Dave &
record-breaking
Buster's.
kicks, man.
New and existing customers
I
can
just
choose
don't
the
know
phone
about
they
him, man.
want,
I don't know
like
what
the
happened.
incredible iPhone 14 on us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not
Whoever
bragging.
he is, I hope he has
Never. Oh, excuse me.
young and has a
Hello,
leg,
Your
man,
Royal
because
Highness, sir.
you know
Okay,
how
that's
we
a
get
brag.
sometimes when we get
New and
stalled down
existing
in
customers
that
can choose the phone they want,
area where
like
we
the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
On the
this is
network
a new
worth bragging
season,
about.
new
Verizon.
players with the addition of Cooks.
Hims
I
is
feel that,
total care, totally
we will get a lot
personalized.
more.
Whether you're
we'll be
looking
in
for
the end zone
support
a
for
lot more.
anxiety, ED, or hair loss, Hims can help.
Again, thank
Through
you all for
Hims, you can
tuning
get
into the
access
Real
to
Talk
trusted
Cowboy
treatments
Show.
from licensed
I'm
medical
your boy,
providers
Real Talk
who can
Cowboy.
determine the right option for you
Appreciate
with
you.
a 100%
I'm
online
new and
process
upcoming content
and
creator
free
for the
discreet
Dallas
shipping
Cowboys.
if prescribed. Find personalized treatments for you
On the
and
scene,
you and you
trying to
at
provide
forhims.com.
the accurate,
Get started
the
today.
most straightforward
With Allegra,
content
allergies
for you
don't
all
hold us back.
without any
Allegra
chasing
starts working 2 times faster
or
than
being
Claritin.
watered down.
And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief so you can live your greatness.
Are you a referee?
Apple, Omaha, fade,
Illegal
fade,
substitution.
pylon,
Interception.
How many words? Breaking into words.
Oh, I know it. Helmet catch.
Stop guessing the helmet catch.
Is it the Caesars Sportsbook app with Caesars rewards where the more you play, the more stuff you earn, and they have fast payouts because Caesar is the man? Yes! Is that a thing? What?
How is that even possible?
Nice job, coach.
But we have 14 more
Worst clues ever.
picks before we get to our beloved Dallas Cowboys.
favorite, Archie.
Cold beer on Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Please do me a favor.
Flexibility. He
Like,
is a good
share, and
athlete.
comment.
He's got good strength.
Again,
and really, it comes
folks,
down
like,
to me,
share,
the two
and
best centers in this
comment.
class are Tippmann and John Michael
you're
Schmitz.
digging this
They're different
content.
types of centers, Cynthia, but finding a guy who can be a long-term starter. The center position is such an underrated position because you need intelligence, consistency, and they're kind of the brain of the entire offensive line.
Yeah, it's hard to measure a center, but I will say bringing him in at the same time as Aaron Rodgers not only helps Aaron Rodgers this
So
season,
far, the
but
front
also helps
office of the
whomever
Dallas
the quarterback
Cowboys
should be
is showing me that
after
they
Aaron
want to win
Rodgers,
now.
Because training a guy like
wanna
Joe
win now. They're
Tippmann,
making smart
who
moves, I
one sack
believe.
allowed on almost 600 pass blocking
Do you
snaps at
all think?
Wisconsin,
Do you
that's
all
number
agree
one.
with
But
me?
number two, you get
So far, they
trained
are
by a
making
guy like
smart
Aaron
moves
Rodgers.
and
That's
not
just going to
being
do
flashy
nothing but
and
have so
going
many dividends
for
for whomever
players that
succeeds
just
Aaron
want
Rodgers
to
at the
bring
Jets.
them
Like that is
more,
Aaron Rodgers makes his O-line better, but that makes
publicity.
everything better.
Yeah, let's take a look at Lance Zierlein's
used
best
for more
available
marketing.
players here. Here's
What I will
the
give to
list.
Jerry
I know we
is
were spending
he's a
some time
good
talking about Jalen Hyatt,
businessman.
Josh Downs, the
He
wide
knows how
receiver. I
to
know Bucky
market.
likes out of North Carolina for
Every year
obvious
he
reasons,
feels
being a Tar Heel
or
himself.
he
I just want to
believes
circle back
it
here
makes us
on the
believe
Jets.
that we
a
have a
season
chance
ago, it was
to go to the
Sauce,
Super
it was
Bowl.
Wilson, it was Breece Hall. They were the
I do
talk
like
of the
that
NFL
about him.
world with how they did in last year's.
His team, this team, our team, his team is the most valuable team in sports. So he's doing something right. Excuse me for the technical difficulties here on NFL.com. They don't want us
Some
to
heat for drafting Will
be
McDonald
great
where
over
they did,
here.
and it's simply because of the perception where people think a guy should go relative to mock drafts like people like me and DJ and everyone else, and top
Also,
top 100 lists or whatever the case
I'm
may
on
be.
podcasts.
But the fact is,
So
Will
wherever
McDonald
you
is
listen to
a
your
slippery edge
podcast,
rusher and getting
whether
after the
it's
passer.
Google
Something you need to keep in
Podcasts,
mind.
Apple
I think Bucky
Podcasts,
made a
or
joke
whatever,
about this, but it's true.
you can
With
find
Aaron
me,
Rodgers,
the
you may
Real
have more
Talk
leads
Cowboy
this year,
Show.
and you've got to learn to rush
Go on
the
over there and
passer. Because
subscribe.
the teams are playing from behind, they're going to
Also,
throw a
be
lot, and you got to
on
be able to
Clubhouse.
finish them with your
Haven't been
pass
on
rush.
there.
It's a
I'm
good
on
call, not that I want to
TikTok,
give credit to Bucky.
Twitter,
No, yeah, clearly.
YouTube,
Let's take a look right now at the draft room.
Instagram,
The Colts are on the clock, and a lot of excitement
Twitch.
for Indianapolis fans right now. Look, they got their quarterback.
The
Gardner
Real
Minshew,
Talk
ready to go.
Cowboy.
All right, Anthony Richardson, that guy
On
that they took
TikTok,
with
you will
that
find me
fourth
at Mr.
overall
Real
pick.
Talk Cowboy.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
Not
And
to
again,
brag,
thank you
but
all for tuning
I'm
in.
on
I
Verizon
really
now.
appreciate you, and I
And I
don't
got to
take it
choose
for
the
granted
phone I
that
wanted
you're
for
here
free. Not bragging.
chilling
You're
with Real
bragging.
Talk
You me
Cowboy,
never.
but you could
Oh,
have been
excuse
anywhere
me.
else.
Hello,
There
Your
are several
Royal
social media
Highness, sir.
Okay, that's a
content
brag.
creators out there
New
for
and
the Dallas
existing customers
Cowboys.
can choose the phone they want, like the
And
incredible
I'm
iPhone
one,
14
just one, and
on
I'm new
us.
and upcoming.
On the network worth bragging
Coulda
about.
Verizon.
been somewhere
How
else,
does
and I
Little Caesars know
thank
when to
you.
bring back Pretzel Crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to
As
a
I
science.
said yesterday, we'll be having shirts, hats, doing raffles and giveaways, interviewing some players, other content creators as well, not only from the Dallas Cowboys, but from all the other teams as well.
Pretzel Crust is back. Yeah, nah, they definitely know what they're doing.
The crust the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Rumor has it you're considering a trade to leave the booth for the bar.
Listen, Nikki, I'm always looking for the best opportunity to watch, but I'm just focused on getting the next round of beers.
Thank you again for tuning in
Get
to
a power
day number
card with an
2
entree only at
of the
Dave &
NFL
Buster's.
draft
Angie's
coverage.
List is
Here
now
with your
Angie,
boy, Real Talk
and it's
Cowboy.
easier than ever to get your projects done right. Inside, outside, big or small, Angie helps you find the right solution for whatever you need done. With Angie, you can connect with
I
top
see you
local
over there
pros
at
and see
Facebook.
ratings and reviews. Just search or scroll to see
Send
upfront
some
pricing on
stars.
hundreds of projects.
Stars
and when you book and
is
pay through
a
Angie,
gift
you're covered by
from
our
you to
happiness
me, the
guarantee.
content
It's easy
creator.
to make your home
Let
an
me
Angie
know
home.
that
Check
you
out
are
Angie.com
digging
today.
my
Angie,
content.
and done.
As well, it will let Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook crew know that you like this content and you want more of it. If you're liking and you're digging it, go ahead and send your boy some stars.
Jeans that fit just right. And the radio.
Again, welcome to the Grown and Sexy Cigar Lounge. Come down here,
NFL players
have a
depend on
seat,
sleep number? This
get your
Walter Payton
cigars
NFL Man
out,
of the Year sure
your
does.
drinks
I mean, just
going,
look at him. Super Bowl
relax,
champions do. The offensive
and
player of the year
listen
does. Turns
to this
out
Real
80%
Talk
of NFL
Cowboys
players have a
talk.
sleep number smart bet. It's game
Join in
changing.
as well if you
Sleep.
want,
Visit
but
sleepnumber.com.
relax is
Shop
the
now.
most important
Since the dawn of
piece
man,
of this
getting help
puzzle.
has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss,
Allow
or
Real
your
Talk
mental health.
Cowboy to bring you the latest in the
Through
breaking
Hims,
news.
getting help is simple.
Straight
It all
without
starts with
any
one
chaser.
small click for you.
Not watered down.
And you. And you. That can change everything for future you. That's healthcare, as it should be. Click now, thank yourself later. Get started at forhims.com.
With Allegra, we live life our way. Allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts.
NFL.com won't let me be great. Okay, they tell me it's a commercial break and they will be right back. So while we waiting there, let's let me get a look at.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back Pretzel Crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a
We can
science.
look at our boy Mozzie
Something.
pulling up to the Dallas Cowboys headquarters.
He's dancing. Pretzel Pete has busted a move. Pretzel Crust is back. Yeah, nah, they definitely know what they're doing.
The crust the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Rumor has it you're considering a trade to leave the
All right.
booth for the bar.
And this is Mozzie Smith, our number one draft pick from yesterday, arriving at the Dallas Cowboys headquarters. They're in Texas. I don't want to play that yet, folks. Hold on for 1 second. I want to play something else. Give me 1 second. All right, I want to play this. Mozzie Smith is bench pressing 225 34 times. It is the most done by any interior lineman in this draft. So by far, he is the strongest as well. And he bench pressed 325 22 times. Again, he bench pressed 325 pounds 22 times.
We're trying to win games. We know they don't need linebacker here, so you can.
All right, back to the draft, folks. Give you the inside of videos that I have, and we'll be sharing them on next week.
You have him 42. I have him like 60.
It is a corner, and it would make some sense. Could they go wide receiver again? I don't think you can because they need wide receiver, but
you're on number.
You just added Jameer Gibbs, who could play
45,
basically wide receiver.
You remember the years we went through a string
And the
of
Dallas Cowboys have the 58th pick of the second round. And I'm going to give NFL.com one more chance. And then I'm going to have to move on because
Lions select Brian Branch, defensive back, Alabama.
I mean, look, I think this is one of the best football players in the
draft.
draft.
So happy. Look at him. He looks thrilled.
He said, I'm staying here.
Did you not see that you took C.J. Gardner-Johnson in this offseason? He's like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I don't think.
And it's not even a good tax state.
Yeah. Well,
it's the real issue.
Don't tell him that. Look how serious he looks going out there. Not only did he stay at the draft, he's given this little walk out there, and he's just, look, Brian Branch is strictly business. He's like EPMD. He is strictly business. And when he gets after you, you're going to stay tackled. Once he starts the tackle, he's going to finish the tackle. I think he has an extremely high football IQ. He's always where he needs to be at all times. He can play slot corner, the nickel. He played the star position right there. He has the ability to play high safety. He has the ability to play low safety. He said, I'm going to get mine. He's getting his hug right there with the commissioner.
Yeah.
This is a good football player.
No,
you just got a good football player.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is the best pick they've had. This is better than their first, second, third. This is the best pick they've had, period.
I agree with that.
This is actually my highest rated before the draft started. This is my highest rated player that they've taken.
You've done a little bit of a Brian Branch yourself, Cynthia, to be fair.
Yeah,
you
thank you all
out
for
not
tuning in with your boy, Real Talk
eventually
Cowboy. I
smiling
appreciate
when he's put the hat on.
You
didn't seem thrilled, but now
when you tell like a 5-year-old, smile, or you won't get this cookie.
That's a Nick Saban player. They might smile, but they might not smile.
You know that you kind of can't bring up Nick Saban to Michigan people either because he left us high and dry before Hawaii when he went down to LSU a million years ago. Just so we're clear.
Well, hold on. That's Michigan State. Are you a Michigan State person?
I'm from I'm from East Lansing.
You okay. Oh,
so,
there's that.
There's that. Yeah.
I am from there.
He did leave you.
You left us.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, does Branch
make me happy? Yes.
Okay, it makes you happy. But what about on the field in terms of a need here? Does this make sense for Detroit?
Look, he does kind of play a similar role to C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
And they did pay for him. But I will say, Aaron Glenn is a defensive back himself, and he knows how to coach this position. They
12
traded
more
Jeff Okudah for a
picks
fifth
for our
round pick.
beloved
He was a
Dallas
former
Cowboys.
first round pick. If they
Select
like
that
Brian
second
Branch here,
round,
I'm going to
unless
trust
they
Aaron
move
Glenn
up.
on this. Some of the other picks I'm not, but I'm going to trust Aaron Glenn on this one. He has a ton of upside. This is a long-term player that could solve a lot of needs for the Lions.
You reminded me of something. I had a conversation with Aaron Glenn. I know him from when he was with the Texans, so I know AG a little bit. And we talked about some of the defensive backs because I think he does a great job of analyzing these guys and evaluating. And I remember he told me that Branch was one of his favorite players. I'd forgotten about this. He told me around Combine that this was one of his favorite players in the entire draft. I think it was after Combine because he just did nothing but make positive plays. Hard to find negatives when you watch tape on him.
Okay, so can we move on to the Patriots?
Yeah, let's do the Patriots here because, look, in the first round, they get arguably the best corner.
How does that happen?
Okay.
If
Well,
they
I don't
go
know.
back and
I don't
get a
know.
defensive front player, I'm going to walk out of this thing and tell them that the Lions are I'm selling the Lions. I might become a Patriots.
I mean,
So
okay, let me throw you a curveball. Now, so I think Keon
not
White
Jalen Hyatt.
fits. No, I'm not going to throw you a Jalen Hyatt curveball.
It's not a tight end.
No, but
It's not. I'm trying to think of your mind.
okay. So he's had a little bit of
Who's he?
uneasiness with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Hendon
Hooker.
I'm just saying, would it be interesting if he picked Hendon Hooker there? I can tell you this: trying to figure out what Bill Belichick is going to do
Inception.
in the draft is basically impossible.
The
It's
NFL
basically
draft
impossible.
live
And
coverage. Which
would you say it's
coverage with
strange?
Your boy, Real Talk Cowboy.
Strange?
I knew
Well,
that.
It
I
is
like that.
strange.
Well done.
It is.
Got
I
it.
see your
And he could
Facebook.
come back with Brenton
I see
Strange,
you
cornerback,
YouTube. I
tight
see
end
you
from Penn
Twitter.
State, but I don't
I see
think
you
so.
Twitch.
But I was just saying, this would be kind of a
Thank
funny
you for
little
joining
quarterback
Real
pick
Talk
if he
Cowboy.
were to do that and say, hey,
I
I'm
already
New and
gonna
know.
notice Mac
upcoming.
Jones.
You just said this if they go
Content
with a defensive player up.
For the Dallas Cowboys. And NFL.com, you have what is going on? Let's do something like this right here. Maybe this will help.
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Keon White, defensive end, Georgia Tech.
Pocket collapsing. Penny gets sacked.
Keon White, edge, 2022 third team All ACC.
And it was Keon White. He has been all over the field.
All right. So you guys had said that this is a possibility here. And Cynthia, if I'm not mistaken, you said he was the highest ranked player on your
Yeah,
board. of
at
players
that
left.
position, edge.
Okay.
And you also said if they got a player on the defensive front. Let me go first just so I can let you calm down for just 1 second.
The rich get richer.
And so Bill Belichick loves big ends with long arms
exactly.
who play with power. That's what he's on. Deatrick Wise has been that. This is who he likes and this is what he likes. And this is what Keon White is. Now, Keon White has flashes of really dominating games. And there's other times where you can tell he's just not a very instinctive player. He was at Old Dominion as a tight end. So he hasn't even been at this position for a long time. So
I don't
he's
even
still
care
learning.
if he played one snap. Now that he played for Bill Belichick, he's going to figure it out.
He's a freaky athlete. He's got freaky size. This can't make you happy at all, Cynthia, can it?
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. I know you.
And the Lions could have taken
Patriots fans, that's a good thing from your perspective.
Put
Commanders,
the paper down. Put my paper down. Don't tear it.
On the clock. Here's the pick.
What's going on, Burgundy and Gold faithful? Hail to the Commanders. With the 47th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jartavius Martin, defensive back, Illinois.
So this is another guy pretty productive last season, third in the Big Ten in terms of the forced incompletions with 15 and coming off a career high 64 tackles and 11 pass breakups. Not scared of contact here as you guys look at the film.
No, and that's a really talented secondary, by the way, with Quan Martin there. That's his nickname is Quan Martin. And you've got Sidney Brown, who is going to go at some point today in the draft. Obviously, we know about Witherspoon. It's a really talented secondary. And Martin is a guy who is one of the elite testers. Like, he's a terrific tester as well. So there's a lot of teams. This doesn't really surprise me because a lot of teams were really high on Martin. They felt like it's not a great safety draft.
What I'm doing here now, folks, is I'm writing down
starter fairly quickly.
So for me, he flags as a guy who makes the run a different characteristic for other
offensive
teams.
linemen that I would like the
you got
Dallas
Jalen Hurts,
Cowboys
you got
to
whoever's
go
going to
and
be the running
get.
back there. Stop
And
the
I will
run.
share
This
with
guy will
you in
help
a
you
moment.
also in stopping the run, which is really, really key in that division.
Very competitive division. I know there's some questions right now about that team's offense and which direction. Looks like Sam Howell is going to be the guy, but kind of doubling down on that secondary, right? Emmanuel Forbes, they took in that first round, and here it is in round number 2, going with Martin.
I love the repeat pick. I think that's so smart.
Meanwhile, Tampa Bay
Bucks.
selection here, swapping with the Green Bay Packers. So 48 for 50 plus the 179th pick. Which direction does Tampa Bay go? The answer from Kansas City.
Thank you to our service members serving both here and around the world. We are grateful for all that you do to keep us safe. The Green Bay Packers have traded the 48th pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the 48th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Cody Mauch, guard, North Dakota State.
That's who I wanted
This is
for
a
the
guy,
Cowboys.
if you watched our Senior Bowl coverage here on NFL Network, his name just continued to get called. Number one, the versatility on the offensive line, which is something all of our guys have talked about. But let's be real here. That's the best smile in all of college football, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you think he's going to get some veneers
Come
now?
on, Cowboys.
You know what? I think before the Senior Bowl, I heard him say that he would, and then after, he said he's not. He's going to let it roll.
Let's see. Look,
really? I thought after he got drafted, he was going to do it.
So that's what he had said before the Senior Bowl. And we had him on after. It sounded like he might be hedging a little bit.
Look, if you're looking at the strategy of what the Bucs have done so far, they're clearly building from the trenches. They're going to rely on, sorry, I'm distracted by his tummy. They're going to rely on their trenches to be the foundation for potentially
still a lot out there,
pick,
though. It's
a
still a
quarterback
lot.
in a different season. I don't necessarily think Baker Mayfield's a long-term solution, but at least they've given themselves some long-term players.
So he plays tackle, but really he's going to be a guard or center.
Yeah.
So the ability to play and watch his transformation. I looked at it. Their sophomore year.
Looks like fake hair.
Third year is always where we see the jump for players. They start to get into themselves and then look at this.
Hey now,
Full-on
Cody.
wildling.
Bucks. That's your dude. Here we go.
Better looking.
COVID year.
He's getting better looking.
I'll take it. Steelers pick still to come.
We're getting close, folks. We're at pick number
How does Little
49.
Caesars know when to
So
bring
that
back
means
pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've
we
got it down to a
have
science.
9 more picks to our beloved Dallas Cowboys. Pick their second round pick.
He's dancing. Pretzel Pete is busted a move. Pretzel crust is back.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing. The crust the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not bragging.
You're bragging.
You, me, never. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Your Royal Highness,
Again,
sir.
thank you all for tuning into the Real Talk Cowboy
New and
Show.
existing customers
I'm
can
your
choose
boy,
the phone
Real
they
Talk
want,
Cowboy.
like the incredible iPhone
New and
14
upcoming
on us.
The newest and
On the
upcoming
network worth bragging
content
about.
creator for our
Verizon.
beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Legendary performance tonight watching basketball.
As the
Dave &
song say, I
Buster's
do this
has
for
a deal.
Gladys.
Well, vindicated, Nikki. That's the
Yeah,
only thing
but
I
I'm
can
gonna
say. You know, there's a
now
lot of
to
people who
bring
don't see what you do
the
behind
latest
the
in the
scenes.
breaking
You know, they don't see
news,
you sitting
as
on the
well
couch
as
by
much
yourself
more
watching
in
TV,
rumor,
right? They don't see you eating wings by yourself,
not
right?
watered
They say
down
you got to get
or
up, you got
without
to get a
chasing.
job. And to
Giving
them,
it to you
I say
real,
tonight
keeping it
proves
100,
you wrong.
keeping it a buck.
Vindicated indeed. The slam dunk deal.
Please
Score
like,
a power
share, and
card with an
comment.
entree for
Again, folks,
$29.99 at
please
Dave &
like,
Buster's.
share, and comment
Since the
over
dawn
there
of
in
man,
Facebook
getting help has
land,
been hard.
Twitter
Whether
land,
it's for
Twitch
ED,
land, YouTube land.
hair loss, or your mental health. Through HIMS, getting help is simple. It all
Like,
starts with one
share,
small
and
click for you.
comment. Thank you all for tuning in. You could have
And
been
you.
somewhere else.
And you.
You decided
That
to
can change
chill with your
everything
boy,
in the
Real
future.
Talk Cowboy,
That's
on this
healthcare,
day number
as it should be.
2 live
Click now.
draft coverage.
Thank yourself later.
I don't take it lightly.
Get
And
started
once
at
again, I thank you.
forhims.com.
With Allegra, we live life our
Let
way.
me put up.
Allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra lasts all day, up to 6 times longer than Benadryl. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief, so you can live your greatness.
Try Tide Power Pods with 85% more Tide in every pod.
Who needs that much more Tide?
He does.
No, what does that mean?
It means you're gonna need more Tide. See? More likes, more Tide, more adorable, more Tide. Everyone's gonna need more Tide.
You're going to need
More Tide. It's a mess out there. That's why there's 85% more Tide in every Power Pod.
It's day 2 of the NFL draft from Kansas City. Day number 1, plenty of drama, a slew of trades. Day number 2 has not disappointed just yet. The Steelers are on the clock. They have had themselves come in with 6 picks to take a closer look at their draft room presented by Verizon. This is shaped up pretty nicely for Mike Tomlin's crew. Round number 1, Broderick Jones out of Georgia, the offensive tackle, and then does lead off day number 2 coverage. Joey Porter, who both Cynthia and Lance, you guys absolutely loved. And now another selection here in this second round, 49th overall. I don't know if some of the guys that we had speculated that they could go with at 32, if any of those guys are currently available on the board. But right now, if you're a Steelers fan, you got to be loving this.
Yeah, and I kind of thought, they need inside linebacker still. Drew Sanders would be the highest on my board at that. And I actually think he's a good fit for their defense.
All right, let's find out what the pick is.
With the 49th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Keanu Benton, defensive tackle, Wisconsin.
Be honest, I forgot he was even on the board still. I expect him to be gone early second. He is, I know there were teams that really like him as one of the few big body defensive tackles. I mean, plays like a big body player in the middle with a little bit of disruption as well. So I kind of expected him to go earlier. It's a good Pittsburgh Steeler spot because he can play nose, which they need some nose help, but he can also play defensive end. So I think as a 5 technique with, Cam Hayward getting a little bit older, this might be an interesting selection as a 5 technique for the Steelers.
Yeah, he's got
as we get
hand
closer
usage when I was watching him with,
to our
with
beloved
coaches
Dallas
and asking
Cowboys
what I
picking
should be
at number
really focused
58
on,
in
and
the
it's
second
his
round.
ability to use his hands
Currently,
and
we at
inflict
number
pain. That's the way
49.
he inflicts pain with his hands. Basically, he's good with his hands.
At that size, it makes a lot of sense. 6'3"
You have
and
to say it
3/4 and 309 pounds. By the way, career high 10 TFLs last season in his 12 starts. Green Bay, the pick is in. Take you back to Kansas City.
Yes, sir. Y'all made the trip. Thank you. Jordan Love, we got some help for you. With the 50th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers, the best franchise, by the way, in my opinion, select Jaden Reed, wide receiver, Michigan State. We always get good receivers in the second round.
Because you typically draft him in the second round. I'm just saying. Jaden Reed, and a little shout-out message there for Jordan Love. Just to reset for you, the Green Bay Packers, Lucas Van Ness in round number 1, Luke Musgrave just a short time ago, and now it's the wide receiver out of Michigan State, Jaden Reed.
Yeah, Jaden Reed is a really highly competitive player. The game he had against Ohio State was one of my favorite. This is what I like. He plays much bigger than his listed size. He's a player who can go up and attack it at the high point, but also once the ball goes up, I love players who kind of hyper-focus, and that's something Jaden Reed really does is when the ball goes up, he becomes the more competitive player in more instances than not.
He's better when he has a good running back. You have to look at all of his data when you saw that he had an exceptional running back.
All right,
with him,
round
and he had
number
a lot
50.
more production. So we'll help
Well,
with
pick
Kenneth
number
Walker. Yeah, in
51 in
2021.
round
Yeah,
number 2.
good running back duo coming out of that backfield.
Exactly.
For the Green Bay
7 more
Packers.
picks for
Miami
our beloved
right now.
Dallas Cowboys.
Getting to
Get
make
the
a
pick
selection.
there.
If I'm not mistaken, it's their first pick.
First.
Ooh, it's the first one. Let's go.
They speeding this thing up. That's what I like.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out to the legend, Steve Gleason, Mr. No White Flags himself. 10 years ago, day 2, Steve announced my pick in the 3rd round of the 2013 NFL Draft. And I just want to let him know I'm forever grateful and I appreciate him. Me and my family will never forget that moment. With that being said, with the 51st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, my Miami Dolphins select Cam Smith, defensive back, South Carolina. Hands up.
So Cam Smith, 5 pass breakups in the 11 games that he played. This is a guy that was highly productive out of South Carolina. In fact, he was a name that some of the mock drafts even had potentially sneaking in to the first round on NFL.com.
Yeah, based on the talent. Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's some concerns about maturity that probably caused him to fall a little bit, but the talent's just too good for him to fall out of the second round. And he does have to work on playing with better discipline, trust in his technique. Way too many penalties, and he just opts to grab and get penalized when he doesn't need to. He's got to trust the technique. But man, from a talent standpoint,
You
he's
have
super
to stop the
talented.
pass. The AFC East is a nightmare. You absolutely have to stop the pass. You've got Josh Allen. You've got Aaron Rodgers. You've got Mac Jones. Oh, wait. That one, not so much. But,
Yeah, that division
not so
right
scary.
now feels absolutely.
Wasn't that the
loaded.
guy
If
you
take
were
a closer
talking
look
about,
at some of the
Edward?
corners and the guys that have been taken.
Out of UCLA?
In fact, all you guys have been saying for a while now, this class is very strong. Seattle, the pick is in.
Twelves, make some noise! To the best fan base, to the loudest fan base, 12s, make some noise! See!
Man, come on, man.
With the 52nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Zach Charbonnet, running back, UCLA. Go Hawks, baby.
Oh, here we go. The dude who never skips arm day, Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA. If there's such a thing as like a bully running back, Charbonnet to me,
absolutely.
he
Man,
checks
we were
that
talking
box.
about that yesterday, and I was picking him up.
This is a little surprising. I also like that KJ Wright psyched us out by yelling defense, and then they went with an offensive player. I think it's good value, I guess, at the position, but you know that historically Pete Carroll really likes to run the football, so you know that this is going to be something where they'll absolutely use the depth here. It's interesting. It's an interesting fit, and I think it adds to their haul, which has already been pretty impressive.
Yeah, and what it is basically, I think it's leaning into the fact that
Look at those
the
highlight
NFL is
reels.
becoming a
Edward.
league where it's like line changes in the NHL. You want to keep people as fresh as possible. It's like baseball where you don't go as many. You don't
53.
let guys
Meaning
through the
we are
lineup
5
3
picks
different
away
times. I think
from our beloved
I think they just want to
Cowboys
beat on
picking their person.
defenses with
Again,
fresh
thank
legs.
you for
and I
tuning
think
in to
that's
the
what
Real
this move
Talk
was.
Cowboy
Bears
Show.
on the clock, the
Probably
pick coming
boy.
up.
Real Talk Cowboy, the newest and upcoming Dallas Cowboys content creator
Rumor has
on
it
your
you're
social
considering
media
a trade
wave
to leave the
here.
booth for the bar.
Listen, Nikki,
Twitter,
I'm always looking for the
Twitch,
best opportunity to watch,
YouTube,
but I'm just focused on getting the
Facebook,
next round
TikTok,
of beers. Yeah.
Instagram,
Get a power card with an entree only
Clubhouse,
at Dave
and
and
also
Buster's.
podcast.
New and existing
Wherever
customers
you
can choose the
listen
phone
to
they
your
want,
podcast,
like the incredible iPhone 14
make sure you
on
search
us.
and subscribe to the Real Talk Cowboy Show.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted
Thanks
for
in
free.
advance.
Not bragging.
You're bragging.
Who, me? Never. Oh, excuse me.
Also, please like, share, and comment.
Your Royal Highness,
Once again,
sir.
like, share,
Okay,
and
that's a brag.
comment. Let's get
New and existing customers
this
can choose the phone they want, like the incredible
non-watered
iPhone
down,
14 on us.
no
On the
chaser
network worth bragging
content
about.
out to
Verizon.
the Cowboy
How does Little
Nation.
Caesars know when to bring back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science.
Yeah, but I'm starting to think that these offensive linemen, like they're going in spurts, but they're not heavily focusing on picking them yet. So my thought process is we may be able to wait to the third round to start picking out offensive linemen, even though my boy Cody Moss just went from North Dakota State.
With Allegra, we
There's
live
still a
life
lot of
our
good
way.
offensive linemen that's
Allergies
still on the
don't
board.
hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra lasts all day, up to 6 times longer than Benadryl. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief, so you can live your greatness.
Since the dawn of man, getting help has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss, or your mental health. Through HIMS, getting help is simple. It all starts with one small click for you. And you. And you. That can change everything for future you. That's healthcare, as it should be. Click now, thank yourself later. Get started at 4hims.com.
Take a look at the
Look at
Chicago
that room.
Bears draft room. And just to reset for you, this is a team yesterday that used the 10th overall selection on Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. I think it's a guy that everyone seems to absolutely love.
Look at all the
They've
dickas.
seen.
What's up, Bears? I love.
Mini Ditka over here. Yeah, get fired up, big man.
I mean, Chicago fans are not messing around. They're not kidding.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like what Ryan Poles is doing. He's not forcing things. I like the way he handled yesterday. He knew he wasn't going to draft Jalen Carter, so he moved flip-flop and got a free fourth rounder.
I love that.
Out of it. And, for Howie Roseman, Howie wanted to make sure that he got the guy he wanted. So this is a long process, and this is something that the Texans have to remember. I think it's something now Arizona is in this place now. Once you get to a spot where you realize that you're in a rebuild, a clear rebuild like Ryan Poles is in, you can't get it all in 1 year. And the fans may get impatient, but you have to stay the course, whether it's financially and whether it's draft-wise, whether it's free agency.
I would not be surprised if the Bears are in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
You talk
This
about
year.
yes. Look at the rest of that division.
Look at the division. Yeah, good point.
I mean, it's not necessary. It's like this weird. We've got our quarterback, and now we need to rebuild around him. We need that secondary addressed. We need that defense addressed. They need a pass rush. I mean, they really got rid of a lot of different people. Roquan Smith is gone. In fact, this is the pick for Roquan Smith. So maybe they go defense here.
Well, Cynthia, to your point, I'm looking at some of the additions that we've been well chronicled on NFL Total Access as we've gone through it the last few weeks here. But DJ Moore now into that situation. Tremaine Edmonds, a kid out of Buffalo, that should help out that team's defense as well. Some pretty good pieces here for Justin Fields that are around him. Where does Chicago go with this pick? Here's the answer from Kansas City.
Chi-Town, what's up, baby?
After
Y'all ready
this
for
pick,
this?
we have 4 more picks
With the 53rd pick,
to go.
2023 draft, Chicago Bears select Javon Dexter Sr., Florida Gators D-Typer.
So here we go, Lance.
Wow.
Some of the numbers here, look, career high 55 tackles for him. He was 94 on your list, Lance. And here we are at pick 53. I guess the obvious answer it is a reach, but what did you see on film?
Well, so he's a 5-star prospect coming out. great height, weight, length. When he turns it on, he can be really, really good. The problem is he never really consistently put together the seasons that you were expecting from him. But then he worked out again, and people were reminded. And he has flashes like we're seeing right now. He has flashes where he can eliminate blocks, the block destruction. But you just want to make sure that he's playing consistently. This may not be the last defensive line pick that Ryan Poles makes. This might be just one of more that are on the way, because he understands he's got to build the fronts. Like he took care of offensive line, or tried to take care of offensive line with Darnell Wright. That's just one player, but it was an important player. And now he goes after the defensive line. So build the fronts. That's the best way. When we talked about being in a rebuild, build the fronts. Yeah. That's what he's doing here. Little earlier than I would have expected, though.
I had him like
I thought he was going
190.
I thought he might go into third.
93.
Potentially.
Well, here we go, Chicago Bears. I guess reason to try to maybe be optimistic. Maybe Chicago saw something that Lance was making reference to and think they can relate.
All right, we on pick number 54 in the second round.
Yeah, which
and the Chargers are on the clock.
This team, but
once again, the Dallas Cowboys are at pick 58
All right, the Chargers
in
are
the
on the
second
clock
round.
right now. Just looking at some
So
potential
soon and
possibilities
very soon,
from a
our beloved Dallas
Chargers
Cowboys will be
perspective, going through some of their
the
picks.
second round person
that they have
whoever
coming
that
up.
is.
They have 7 total.
And I'm
picks in
going
this
to
draft. They
say
took the wide receiver Quentin
gonna be
Johnston in round number 1, 21st overall.
Give me Darnell Washington.
I'm going to go with the
Okay,
line.
here we go. Let's find out.
Offensive line. Here's the pick for the Chargers. Pick number 54 in the second round.
Moment to thank all of you fans from every team. We are so grateful for you. Without you, none of this would exist. We are so blessed. With the 54th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chargers select Tuli Tuipulotu, linebacker, USC. Let's go!
Got to tell you guys, if you would have said to me before the draft, who's a player to watch, who could be a little bit of a gem, I actually thought there was a chance that Tuli might fall a little bit, but he's still a second-round guy, one of the best defensive players. In fact, last year was the best in the Pac-12 conference.
I like him a lot. I didn't expect to when I started watching tape. I
thought I was going to hate him, actually.
Okay, what is this going to be? He's listed at 290 pounds in the school. He's not. He's clearly not. He played in the 270s. Then when you watch him, they play him standing up, and we'll probably see him like you see here. He stands. He'll play with a hand in the ground. They move him in the A gap, B gap. He can play 3-4 outside linebacker. I think he's a big power linebacker.
I mean, look.
He could be an interior, he could be a 3-4-5 technique, but I think he's a power.
Coach likes to move around the entire
Again,
front.
thank
He's
you
gonna
all for
fit in
tuning
great.
into the Real
And you're
Talk
getting Khalil
Cowboys
Mack,
show.
and you're
I'm
getting
your
Bosa.
boy,
Okay.
Real Talk Cowboy.
It could be a
The
great
newest and
fit here.
upcoming
By the way,
Dallas
this
Cowboy
will be
content
Jalen
creator on your
This will
social
be Jalen.
media
I
waves.
love this.
Remember, Yammer, I told you that I thought Jalen Hyatt was the last pick of the
Right on
first
my
round. This is
screen,
Jalen
folks.
Hyatt.
We'll find out coming up next.
So I can make sure I see who my Dallas Cowboys are picking.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science.
Please like, share, and comment. Once again, please like, share, and comment. And to the folks over there on Facebook, please send those stars if you're digging this content. What are stars? Stars are here to the content creator, which is Real Talk Cowboy, to let me know that you're digging my content, as well as Mark
Rumor has it
Zuckerberg
you're
or
considering a
Bird.
trade to leave the
Let
booth
him
for
know
the
that you want to see
Listen,
more content
Nikki, I'm
like
always looking
this.
for the best opportunity
So
to
send the
watch.
stars.
I'm just
Please
focused
like,
on
share,
getting the
and
next
comment.
round. Of beers.
Again, thank
Yeah.
you all.
Get a
Thank
power
everyone
card
for
with an
tuning
entree
in
only at
with
Dave
Real
and
Talk
Buster's.
Cowboy, because you could have been
New and
anywhere
existing
tonight, but
customers
you're
can choose
here
the phone they
with
want,
me, and
like
I
the
don't
incredible
take it
iPhone
lightly.
14
Thank
on
you.
us.
Not to brag, but I'm on Verizon now.
Wow.
And I got to choose the phone I wanted for free. Not bragging.
You're bragging.
You, me? Never. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Your Royal Highness, sir.
Okay, that's a brag.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want, like the incredible iPhone 14 on us.
On the network worth bragging about.
Verizon.
HIMS is total care, totally personalized. Whether you're looking for support for anxiety, ED, or hair loss, HIMS can help. Through HIMS, you can get access to trusted treatments from licensed medical providers who can determine the right option for you with a 100% online process and free discreet shipping if prescribed. Find personalized treatments for you and you and you at 4hims.com. Get started today.
Are you a referee?
Apple, Omaha,
Illegal substitution.
pylon,
Interception.
How many words? Break it into words.
Oh, I know it. Helmet catch.
Stop guessing the helmet catch.
Isn't the Caesars Sportsbook app with Caesars rewards where the more you play, the more stuff you earn, and they have fast payouts because Caesar is the man? Yes! Is that a thing?
How is that even possible?
Nice job, Coach.
It's 27 words. Worst clues ever.
Pretty obvious.
Possible.
Who guesses that? Who was my favorite, Archie?
Time is nearing. Our beloved Dallas Cowboys picked at number 58 in the second round.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it out there, go on a limb.
All right, here we go as we take a
And
closer
we will
look at
pick
the
an offensive
Chiefs
lineman.
draft room. We told you about the trade that moves them up now into the spot, swapping with the Detroit Lions. There must be a player potentially that they like. Before the break, Lance, you were telling me, hey, Jalen Hyatt, let's go wide receiver here.
I like Jalen.
speed.
I like Jalen Hyatt. I like speed. Now, the only problem you have here with Jalen Hyatt is he is a
But
little
something
bit
deep down inside is telling me
you
they're
know, a
going to go
little too
with wide
similar to
receiver.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which
Again,
is the one concern because he is only one
my-
type of player.
I
He'll
will
catch
say,
the
my
slants,
heart
the
wants
stop
them to go
routes,
with
and
the
hit the go
offensive
routes and the
lineman,
post for you.
but my
So
gut
he's a little
feeling
bit
is
more
they're gonna
limited
go
on
with the
the
wide receiver
on
here
the
in the
route tree,
second
and
round.
so is Valdez-Scantling. So the one thing that would concern me there is the speed is obviously there, but is there a little bit too much replication of that type of wide receiver? But
Okay, so who
I
else?
like him here.
Who else?
I mean, there's a lot of good wide receivers. I like Josh Downs, but he's a smaller back. I like Cedric Tillman for them, a big.
Marvin Mims. That's my answer. I go for the fastest one left. If you tell me
Marvin
it's
can
not
run
Jalen,
now.
then it's Mims. That's because I know that Brett Veach, he likes them fast. And you can't teach speed, Lance. So
He does like speed.
let's go with that.
He does like speed.
Game
So
speed, fastest one left. If you tell me
Cedric
it's not
Tillman-
Jalen Hyatt, then it's Mims. I don't actually know, but that's my guess.
well, Mims is fast now,
Marvin Mims.
and he can play inside, outside, so it wouldn't be a bad pick.
Here's a look, Lance, and just work so everyone's working off of the same list. This is your best wide receivers. You mentioned Hyatt and Downs still on the board here. Tank Dell also a super.
Can I tell you what's a little strange about
Tank
this
doesn't
year?
work for them.
Jalen Hyatt's just a vertical guy, right? Josh Downs is only 171 pounds. Cedric Tillman is big, pass ball winner, but he's not fast. Tank
The
Dell
time
is
is
very
nearing.
small.
We are
Which is
close,
weird 'cause his
folks.
name's
a little
Tank.
smaller.
We
Yeah.
are
He should be
close,
big with a
Cowboy
name like
Nation,
Tank.
Never
to
missed,
the
he never
Dallas
missed a-
Cowboys.
You were in
Never
this
missed a
together.
round pick.
Love it.
A.T. Perry
Yeah.
is another name that I don't
Yeah.
know.
Number
Wow.
58,
We'll find out.
and we are
Kansas City
currently
pick.
at 55.
Can you believe this? First of all, the Buddy family would like to thank the family of the National Football League that's represented here, and also the Hunt family that has allowed
It's
my
your
dad and
time.
I's dreams to come true. And now the beat goes on for the next generation. The Detroit Lions have traded the 55th pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. With that pick in the 2002-3 draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Rashee Rice, wide receiver, SMU.
All right. That guy, he does nothing but get in the end zone. I mean, Rashee Rice is interesting. A lot of people, okay, I know it's SMU, but people compare him to Emmanuel Sanders. So I did like a little bit of an Emmanuel Sanders, like computer vision analysis,
mixed
and it's a
mix.
fair competition. It's not the most perfect one ever, but it's fair. I mean, Emmanuel had a really amazing career, but coming out of college, this guy has a nose for the end zone, and he really does a good job of, even though he's not the biggest guy in terms of his body weight and composition, he separates well.
You know, I wrote talented but enigmatic receiver with game tape that shows a lack of consistency and impressive ball skills. But when he's on, when he's ready to go, he is really talented. Something that's a little bit
Yeah,
unusual,
pick
Cynthia, that I think
56
you'll
now.
appreciate. He's a 4.5
And again,
140, which
the
is going to blow you away.
Cowboys
A
are at
149
58.
split on his 10-yard dash. So what that or the 10-yard time.
Bursty.
Thank
so that
you
tells
again
you
for
he's
tuning
got
into the Real
immediate
Talk
burst.
Cowboy Show.
Like, that's a
I'm
really
your boy.
outstanding burst time.
I'm
so
your boy, not
his second
Dub,
gear
but
is
I guess you could say Dub, but
exceptional.
I'm your boy,
so
Real
he can
Talk
get
Cowboy.
better, separation
The
than you
newest
might think based on
upcoming
40 times.
Dallas Cowboy content
I'm a little
creator
surprised by this pick. I
on
think
your
there were better
social media
options,
wave.
only because he's inconsistent. But if
airwaves,
anybody can
should I
get it
say.
out of you, it's going to be Andy Reid and that
Reid
offense.
and
And Patrick Mahomes drawing you really
right?
up.
You go there.
bringing you
The
the
standard is excellent. So I think much like if you went and played
unwatered
for the
down
Green Bay Packers,
content.
most wide receivers elevated their game.
Straightforward, no chaser.
We can go back to what Kansas City's doing. Let's head to Kansas
Keeping it
City, though. The
100.
Chicago Bears making the pick.
We have some breaking news. The Jacksonville Jaguars have traded the 56th pick to Chicago Bears. With the 56th pick in 2023 draft, Chicago Bears select Tyreek Stevenson, DB, University of Miami.
So Stevenson, coming out of Miami, actually led the team with 7 pass breakups, was able to play in 11 games this past season. Chicago, once again, this is a team that's trying to make some moves here. And Cynthia, you made reference to it a little bit earlier. This team needs to improve on the defensive side. And now with these last couple picks here, certainly thinking about that side of the football.
I'm curious did they think the Giants were going to double down on it? Like, I'm curious why they moved up to go get him, I guess, is the interesting point about this. I think that it is a great pick, and it's a great, the pass breakups are really helpful, especially in the NFC North. But I'm curious, did they think Dallas?
I think Dallas, possibly. Maybe the Bengals, actually. Bengals need cornerback. I mean, I'm not,
I'm just saying, I'm curious.
I've got the Bears taking.
By the way, kudos to the Jags. Because good job for them for keep getting more and more surplus value. They keep
all right, we have one more pick before I love Dallas Cowboys.
Tyreek Stevenson to me was a good fit for the Chicago Bears. I had him.
We have the Giants in front and pick number 57.
This jump up pick, so it's a good fit for their scheme.
The Giants draft from you saw Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. Here's the pick.
Here we go.
All right, Edward. Last time to change your mind.
Stand
what
up,
do you
New
all
York!
think we're going to pick next? Put it in the
What a
comment
time to
section.
be a Giants
what
fan.
position and what person
Now let's
do you
get
think?
to business. We're
Well, let's
looking for
just do
smart.
position.
We're looking for
What
tough.
position
We're looking for dependable. With the
do you think we're
57th
going to
pick
pick next?
in the 2023 NFL Draft, our New York Football Giants select John Michael Schmitz, center, Minnesota.
It was just a matter of time before they took a
I
center.
had him on my list.
In my mock, I had Tippmann going here.
I had him on my
because I already
list.
had Schmitz off the board, so it makes sense that they went Schmitz. There's 2 really talented centers in this draft, and this is one of them. And this is my favorite center. He is really outstanding his Senior Bowl was terrific, but I think John Michael Schmitz is really good at understanding angles. I think he seals blocks exceptionally well, which we're seeing a lot here on the video, and we saw at the Senior Bowl. He's good at getting up to the second level and finishing his blocks, and I think he's stronger than people give him credit for. He's got a streak of nasty. I know he plays outside zone stuff with Minnesota, but I think he can play in every scheme.
I know we didn't.
Really love this pick.
So I'm seeing
for
on my phone that the Dallas
for the New York
Cowboys
Giants.
took a
And I
tight
think
end.
He's going to be a player who steps in early
that's
and
not
really
true.
settles the interior.
Who is the best center according to PFF and
I
also
hope
my
that's not
models
true.
too? It's him, and this is a run
very
blocking guy,
disappointed
and
if
that
you
is
were
the
gonna go
number one
tight
guy.
end.
The Giants got a steal here.
Yeah,
Well,
this
you
is
couldn't.
now 2 years in a row they're trying to address
You
that
might as well
offensive
have
line.
traded up.
Giants fans.
Who's going to catch
myself
passes?
got
Please
to love
say
that. We're
this
not worried
not
about
so.
that right now. Dallas, the pick is in.
I can't believe this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. As an undrafted free agent, I'm honored to be
I'm
here
very
in Kansas
disappointed,
City
folks.
for the 2023
Cowboy Nation, I'm
NFL
very
Draft.
disappointed.
Of course, I come to you as a former Dallas Cowboy, but I also want to honor the legacy of the Kansas City Chiefs and some of its great players,
I'm
like
very disappointed, Edward.
the great Otis Taylor and our original owner, Lamar Hunt. But I'm here to represent the 5-time world champion Dallas Cowboys.
How about
and its
them
Hall of Fame
Cowboys?
owner, Jerry Jones, Gene Jones and the Jones family, head coach Mike McCarthy, in Cowboy Nation.
I am
With
very
the
disappointed,
58th
Cowboy
pick
Nation.
in the 2023 NFL Draft, the 5-time world champion Dallas Cowboys select Luke Schoonmaker, tight end from Michigan. Hut, 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 hut.
Is this Ann Arbor West here that we're creating it? We were talking about what, Athens North? It is Ann Arbor West here in Dallas now. Look, he was injured, so a lot of people, he sort of fell down many people's draft boards. But if you're talking about his ability, he's an athlete. He's a guy who his change of direction speed and his ability to make tacklers miss. Yeah, that's what you're going to see from him. So that nets out in yards after the catch, which I think Dak Prescott's going to be very, very excited. I'm a little surprised just because I too, I mean, I don't have the medical on him, so I'm assuming it's great. And by the way, the Cowboys have some of the best analytics people in the entire league. So if they say he's good, this is like fantasy gold right here.
My comp on him was Dawson Knox. I'm a big fan of what Luke Schoonmaker brings to the table. He's a true eye, and he's a very willing blocker. I think he improves the running game by adding, this addition is very big for them and helps
I'm
them
not too
to
happy with that
really
pick.
solidify
I'm not
after
too
the
happy.
loss of Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, tight
They
end
have a
is
lot
position
other
need. They
needs
get their
like
guy,
linemen,
Bills on
but
clock.
again, they're
Next.
still out there, like I stated before, that we can possibly pick up a good offensive lineman in the third round. I just
sure they've got it
think that
down
we
to a
didn't need a tight end because we had Ferguson and the other guy. So I didn't think we was pressing the need to pick because Ferguson is coming off his rookie year. He's, his second year coming up. So
Pretzel Pete has busted a move. Pretzel crust is back. Yeah, they definitely.
I'm gonna live with it because I have to live with it. I can't change it.
Pizza.
But I never saw that.
New and
coming.
existing customers
I
can choose
didn't
the
see
phone
that
they
coming,
want,
folks.
like the incredible iPhone 14.
But look here,
on
folks.
us.
I'm gonna get off here.
But
I may be back on right before
And I got to choose
our
the
beloved
phone
Dallas
I wanted
Cowboys
for free.
pick
Not bragging.
on their
You're
third
bragging.
round.
Who, me? Never.
Number
Oh,
90.
excuse me.
I will see.
Hello, your
Hey, but thank you
Royal
all for tuning
Highness,
in.
sir.
It's your
Okay,
boy,
that's a
Real
brag.
Talk Cowboy.
New and existing customers can choose the phone they want,
Yeah.
like the incredible iPhone
I'm out for
14
now,
on
you
us.
all. Thank you
On
for
the
tuning in.
network worth bragging about.
Verizon.